You know the fucking Pope came out not too long ago saying that that hell didn't exist.
Yeah.
And then the fucking Vatican got all
Dude,
pissed off.
He's more radical than Donald Trump, man. That dude's crazy.
No, but he's legit though. Like the new Pope. The new Pope is fucking. He's all about like he's okay with. I don't know if he's okay with gay marriage, but I know he's okay with like homosexuality, and he's very progressive for a fucking Pope, and it's fucking awesome.
And he's old.
Yeah. Well, they're all fucking old. You ever seen a young Pope?
No, that'd be dope though. Hey, fucking welcome to Talk Junkies, baby. June 10th. This day will go down in infamy, man.
Why?
I got married today, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that happened like a couple weeks ago.
No, Bishop backed out, man. He backed out, and
I thought you just went and got some paperwork signed though.
well, no. We went up to Harrisonville, but you still have to have someone who's ordained marry you. So Blake's dad. We went up to the little lake by Mill Creek, and Blake's dad was there. He's ordained, and he signed the papers, and he married us.
Cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks, man.
Congrats.
Yeah. I'm a very lucky man. So that's just what I'm going to say, dude. So it's a good day, June 10th, man.
It's good shit.
Yeah.
It's good shit.
I got one more day off, man. I'm back at it in the grind tomorrow. Well, it's not 12 yet, so on Tuesday I'll be back on the grind selling Poyos. It's Poyo Day, dude.
Fuck yeah, man.
Motherfucking Poyo Day. We'll sell about 300 of them motherfuckers.
I remember this happened like a month and a half ago, where they fucked up and they accidentally did Poyo Day on a Thursday as opposed to a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I had to deal with that shit. It was just nonstop. It was like a line of fucking people just getting their fucking
for to-goes.
Yeah, for to-goes, just getting their, what is it, like $5, $6 for a
$4.35.
$4.35.
$4.35, baby.
Jesus, you know that's enough calories, and a Pollo Magnifico can sustain your life for like 4 days.
Oh yeah.
It's like $1.05 a day to stay alive.
End of the world happens, and you've been starved, and you haven't eaten in like 2 months. You eat a pollo, you're good for like at least a week.
At least 6 months.
Yeah.
At least.
What the fuck's going on, Jesse?
Oh man, nothing much. Same old stuff. My sobriety is a little bit more in check from the previous podcast, which I'm almost about. By the way, I have not listened to. It's been the one that I have not listened to, simply because I'm worried about what I have said. But I probably just need to ball up and listen to it.
Well, have a few drinks, then listen to it. Then
Yeah.
It doesn't sound as bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was real toasty. I have no memory whatsoever of the previous podcast. That was a wild day.
Yeah, it was.
It was a Memorial Day, or day before Memorial Day, technically. Yeah. But
it was fun though, man. We got Carl was over here that night, and we bumped out another podcast, so we didn't miss a beat last week, man. We had episode 9 up last week, 2 views. You know, probably
nice.
One from me, one from Carl.
Yeah, nice. I need to listen to that one too.
Yeah, it's not too bad. So here we are. This is podcast number 10, man. Number 10. It's the most consistent I've been with something other than work in a long time.
And eating pussy.
Yeah. I should probably get more consistent with that as well.
Oh, shit. I'm going to go too deep into people's personal life here.
No, once you see a baby come out of that vagina, it takes some time, man.
Dude, I've heard some scary fucking shit about what happens to the vagina fucking after fucking babies pop out that bitch. Like some scary shit.
Very
dude.
scary, man. Carrie Ann, she had a little bit of there's a little bit of extra bleeding, you know. So it was very scary because you just see the doctor, and her whole hand is inside of Carrie Ann's body, just doing this.
Like to the elbow.
To the motherfucking elbow.
What the fuck?
Just like she was in a dark closet looking for something she couldn't find. That's what it looked like to me.
Was that after Phoenix came out? Or
yeah, it was after she came out.
So was something like lost up in there or what?
It was just extra bleeding, so she had to go in there and do a little extra work, and she fixed it.
Cauterize?
Something?
Maybe,
something like that.
Maybe, okay, to help stop the bleeding.
She tied some shit up while she was in there. I don't know.
Okay. Little ice cream cone tattoo, like what Gucci Man had on his face, but on the inside of her. Like by an ovary or something.
That's a good way to put it, man.
Little butterfly tattoo while I'm in there.
She's got a tattoo in there she don't know about. But no, it was.
It's for the next baby to look at.
Yeah, you're right. It is scary, but it's a beautiful thing to watch, and
a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah,
I've seen some videos, man. It's scary as fuck.
When it's your child, it's different.
Okay, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has a different experience.
Oh yeah.
I've heard like horror stories of girls who literally like get split all the way to their asshole, and shit. Like, I mean, just like ripped the fuck open.
Yeah.
And then the doctor's got to sew shit back. And if, you know, the doctor could fucking accidentally get a little bit of it wrong and you got some shit that's not supposed to be exactly where it's at and everything's uneven and shit. I'm like, fuck, dude.
It's supposed to be a natural process, but it's
That's what made me wonder. I'm like, how the fuck did they just do this out in a field like a couple hundred years ago? Like, that's what they were doing. They were fucking, women would be like picking corn and shit, and then just out of nowhere just birth a child into some fucking hay right next to a horse and shit, and then
oh, yeah.
You know.
I mean, in that point, it's evolution, it's survival. You know, the most strong survive in that situation, which is why we're all here today.
I heard actually, Kendra brought this up about, because we were actually on this subject not too long ago, and which I thought was very interesting. She said that C-sections are allowing almost a negative thing possibly in the fucking human gene pool, because she was like, so like back in the day you had to be a big enough girl, like big enough hips to birth a child properly. She was like, now all of a sudden you have these like super tiny girls that are able to exist because of this possible surgery, and then their genetics are able to continue on in this gene pool.
Very true.
And these smaller girls are able to fucking, you know, because they fucking died and shit during childbirth. Like, if you're just like some like 5'1" fucking chick with like no hips and all that shit, and you think you're gonna birth a fucking child without,
I'm sure it's happened
fucking, no, I'm sure it's happened too, but I'm saying like just the likelihood, like their genetics have been able to stay in the gene pool longer as far as those tinier girls.
Evolution for sure.
You know, I thought that was very interesting.
That's that small shit you don't think about.
Yeah, for sure. I was like, that's very intuitive.
Yeah, well, one day you'll have a child and you'll see the greatest gift on earth, man.
Possibly. Honestly, at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm impotent. Well, wait, that means you can't get your dick hard. I'm sorry. Just kidding. I don't think I produce enough sperm to get women pregnant. Because honestly, like, I've shot craps, like enough in my life, and you know, you think I would have, you know, at this point. But
you know, you think that, and that's what I thought, and then it happened.
Yeah.
You know. And you're 26, right?
27.
27. Okay. So yeah, I was 27 when it happened.
That's good to know. I'm wrapping it up from here on out, man.
Maybe that's that golden age.
My time's right there.
Yeah.
Got that prime ejaculate right now at the age of 27. It's a good vintage.
That's what it is, man. It's like the pineal gland. It doesn't fully stop developing until you're 25, they say. So maybe like your sperm gland, it like peaks at 27, and that's whenever it's golden.
Possibly. I don't know.
It's highly doubtful.
Ask a doctor about that. Yeah.
I don't know how they tell.
Never know.
Dude, I'm scared to go to the doctor and get checked up. I haven't been in ever.
Dude, I don't like doctors either.
But like, I don't want them to stick their finger in my ass and feel my prostate. It's never happened to me, and it's gonna have to happen one day.
I know. Every guy has to at some point.
Yeah.
No, I'm not looking forward to that either. I mean, like, what do you, like, turn around, you ask the doctor, you'd be like, you know, who buys soup, you know, Waffle House, you know, tomorrow morning, like how does this go down, you know? That's a very awkward moment.
Yeah.
I would want a doctor with some fucking humor. Like, I wouldn't want a serious ass fucking doctor who took his job super serious to put his fucking finger in my butt.
I think like an Indian doctor.
Something. I don't give a fuck what his race is. I just need him to be humorous. I need him to lighten that mood for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell some jokes, man. Lighten this up. Okay. This is an experience.
Well, maybe if we're big enough in the podcast at that time, when Jesse and I decide to go get checkups and they do this, maybe we'll put it on the podcast.
Yeah. That'll live.
If we have like at
live
least
prostate checks.
If we have at least 500,000 subscribers, I say we do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
We'll put it on video and we'll put it on. I'm down. You guys heard it here first. We'll do it.
Oh shit. Now I'm gonna be like, no one subscribed to this channel.
Yeah. Well, we'll forget about it, and then we'll have that one subscriber who's like,
fucking remembers.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Podcast 10, man. You got to go back. You got to do it. I'm unsubscribing if you don't.
There's one thing me and Paul are good at. It's digging our own grave.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I've had a shovel branded on my ass, so I'll do it. I'm not scared.
That's true. The shovel turned out a lot better than the water
teapot,
pitcher.
yeah.
Or the teapot water pitcher, whatever it was.
That'll be another one we'll have to put up on the podcast. That would be pretty dope if Zach allowed it. Which I guess it doesn't really matter what he says because we have the video.
Yeah, I feel like you need to blur some shit out. I don't think. Yeah, because
we could blur faces for sure.
Yeah, faces. Oh, I'm just talking about like just like that. Some of those camera angles get pretty nitty gritty, you know.
Oh, like with ball sack and stuff.
Yeah,
yeah, we could do that.
They get a little Pornhub on you, just a little bit.
Yeah, YouTube's not cool with that.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Okay, so what's up with Anthony Bourdain, man?
Fuck, man.
Rest in peace.
God damn it. This really fucked with me. I'm not gonna lie. I heard about Chris Cornell, you know, him killing himself, and then the guy from Lincoln Park. I heard about that too. Those for some odd reason, like I was like, oh man, that's sad. But for some odd reason, the Anthony Bourdain suicide that happened a couple days ago really fucking fucked with me. Like it really fucking did. Like I probably started watching his show, No Reservations. I think back when I was like, fuck man, like 17 or fucking 18. I started watching a show and I fucking loved the show. I just loved the way that his approach to life and how he was open with. He felt really genuine. Like he wasn't like some people just get on camera and they have like their camera fucking persona. I feel like Anthony Bourdain was super fucking genuine. And he was, you know, honest about his past, and he was just like this fucking down-to-earth guy, and he was very caring. And I love the fact that in his TV shows, he always tried to be this understanding person of other cultures and try to show cultures, you know, in a way to where you felt enlightened at the end of the show, that you shouldn't feel so afraid of other people from other countries, because when it comes down to it, they're literally just like me and you.
Yeah.
They literally have the same shit that me and you want to have, like happy life, family, eat good food, you know, drink, you know, like party, have a good time. Like you just get this real, it helped give you a good sense that the world is more unified. You know, he was really good about that.
Oh, and his voice, man. He had a good voice. His voice was like
voice.
comparable to Morgan Freeman. I feel, you know, not as
Not
close,
Morgan Freeman.
not as close, but like it was.
No.
It was close.
No, he had a very unique voice, and I love the fact that he commentated. I don't know if you call it I guess it's not a commentary, but he'd do this
Voiceover.
Not necessarily a voiceover either, but at the end, like it was his own writing that he would do at the end of the show, and he had this really beautiful way with words. So just all around fucking good guy, and this is what bothers me. I'm like, man, somebody who worked his way up, and obviously I looked up a little bit more about his past after I heard his suicide, just out of curiosity. And I knew a little bit about it before, just from the TV show. Like he talked about, I remember in No Reservations, like him growing up in the 70s, like smoking pot and doing LSD and shit like that, and living like the hippie lifestyle, and then being broke and being ambitious, wanting to be a chef, and going out to New York and working like 16-hour days, like, you know, just these crazy long days for like 10 years at a time to slowly work his way up, slowly become this recognized chef, and then he writes his own book. I think it's called Kitchen Confidential is the name of his book. And then that book fucking blew up, and then, you know, and that, you know, moved his fucking TV career, and all of a sudden all this dude is doing, like, is he's living this great life to where he gets to be a positive influence to people on a weekly basis through his TV show, and he gets to like travel the world, eat all this crazy food. I was like, dude, I'd fucking love to do that. I was like, I remember watching a show, and I was like, dude, I would love to have fucking Anthony Bourdain's job. And then, you know, knowing that, you know, he had a family, I'm pretty sure he had a little girl that was like 11 years old. He was married. And I'm like, dude, this dude who in mine, you know, who I'm looking at, who has such an awesome life, who has had such a positive influence on the world, who's done so much good, you know, and still, it's not like his career was dead or anything like that whenever he killed himself. Like, he was mid, like, shooting for his TV show. It's not like he was on the down, you know, it's not like he was on the down and out. I'm like, man, what, you know, he fucking killed himself? Like, and I've been at the same, like, restaurant for 7 years? Like, I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like, no, it's... okay, so there is that perspective of it too, where I'm just like, fuck, dude. I'm like, he killed himself, and he had such a great life, and then I'm like,
doesn't
man,
make sense.
I know, and that's really just, I'm like, what mental state do you have to be in when you have all this success? You're on TV shows constantly, on the Food Network. You could literally, like, you're set for life, like, you have a beautiful wife, like, kid, and then you're just like, I literally can't do this life another day, and then you have to end it. It just blows my mind. Like,
well, I mean, it can be stressful. I mean, granted, I've never done it before, you know, working for television and all this stuff and all that. But if you have a beautiful wife and an 11-year-old daughter, That just seems like the easy way out, because you're leaving behind two people who, depend on you. Whether he left him with millions of dollars or not, still, that'll never fill the void of a father,
no. Yeah, not at all.
Suicide's a horrible thing, and anyone who ever feels that way needs to definitely reach out and try and talk to someone. But, in his situation, the only thing I could think of is that it's just stressful, like Roseanne. She had the issue where, she's trying to reshoot Roseanne, and they did a few episodes, and then she gets on Ambien, then she starts drinking, and then she makes racial comments,
Fucking stupid. Yeah. She was a fucking idiot.
But at the same time, she's 60 years old. She's tired. She doesn't have the energy she had when she was younger. She's a stand-up comedian, one of the greatest, from what I hear. And she just can't do it anymore, She was stressed out, and that's why, she started drinking and taking Ambien.
Yeah.
She can't shoot every day like she used to. But either way, Anthony Bourdain, that's the only thing I can think of, is that he was stressed out.
Just that lifestyle.
Yeah.
The lifestyle is very demanding.
Right.
It's just, I would have much rather have heard him come out and quit the show mid-season. And he's just like, this is, it's too much on me. I'm 61.
It was on CNN, right?
Yeah. It was on CNN.
Yeah. Which is kind of sketchy, because we know CNN's sketchy.
Yeah.
But
and don't get me
it's all speculation.
Okay, so right when I first heard about it, I heard about him dying and suicide. I'm like, okay, who fucking killed Anthony Bourdain and fucking made it look like a fucking suicide?
Right.
But which I really fucking hope that's not the case. Which I honestly because that's the first thing I fucking thought of. But after looking more into it and just kind of seeing the whole thing, I could see it being a suicide too. But it's just frustrating. I don't know, and I think that's up to the family whether or not they even come out with that. I don't.
Oh, it is, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I don't know, and obviously it would be people around him would have a more, like, his close friends would have a better idea. If it was like,
like last text,
if it was like a murder,
conversations,
cover up suicide, I think some people would have came out, because why fucking kill? And that's another thing I thought about. Like, what the fuck is Anthony Bourdain doing? He's not a powerhouse politically, or so that just didn't make sense after I thought about it for a while.
Do you know anyone who's ever committed suicide? I know one person.
No, I've been blessed.
One person, and is a friend of mine, and I think you remember him. And
Matt.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like everyone's different. Everyone does it different. Some people don't reach out. Some people do. But Matt did text me he did text me the night before he did it. He said, "Hey, I love you, man." And I was at work, and I was like, "Hey, I'll talk to you tomorrow." That's what I texted him back, and that was just different. He never texted me just out of the blue and said that. So at the time, I didn't think about it. I was young, stupid, and wanted to go get drunk that night, and I didn't think about it. But that's what I'm, like you said, I'm sure Anthony's friends would know if something was up, because maybe he sent a message like that.
Yeah, or they had like some inkling, because I guess some people could be very good at hiding it. Because you don't know what people are like behind closed doors. Because if you think about it, you have like the face that you put on for just people that you see on like a day-to-day basis, like just random people out on the street, and then you're a different person whenever you're amongst like close friends and family, and then probably your truer self is whenever you're alone by yourself in your own conscious, really like left alone with yourself, is when you're your truest self, which only you can see. So with those different layers, I guess you could never know. Somebody could be really good at hiding. Like look at Robin Williams. Like, somebody who lived to make people laugh, you'd be like, man, how is this guy sad? He literally, his whole life is just like being lighthearted and humor and, finding funniness and happiness and fucking everything. And then him going and doing what he did. So yeah. What's up, Cordy Boo?
Not much.
Look at this guy. Well, that was strange too. I think there was an episode on The Simpsons that aired the night before Robin Williams died, of him dying in an elevator on an episode of The Simpsons.
Dude, The Simpsons have done some like fucking crazy like some near, like path, whatever that is, precognitive fucking like writing of shit that's happened in the future.
Yeah, they predicted it. It was because they've done so many episodes.
That's what I honestly
but
think.
Still,
it is
like
too,
he died in
said, like,
or no, it was Prince who died in an elevator, right? So I forget.
Oh, they killed that motherfucker.
Yeah.
They fucking killed that motherfucker.
That's the thing. Like, of all these suicide celebrities, there's no way that one of them's not a cover up.
I understand Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell, whenever I heard about that, I was like, that's for sure. And the guy from Linkin Park too. I was like, this is like, just, I mean, you could listen to it from like his even like writing, like lyrically, like Chris Cornell, and especially the dude from Linkin Park. His whole life, he's been writing dark fucking like super depressed lyrics. He wasn't just doing that because that's what sold records. I mean, that was fucking in him. Like, you literally heard his depression like lyrically in those fucking songs, So yeah, it's just Anthony Bourdain just like super bummed me out.
For sure.
I think he had a lot more that the world needed to see him do, and my heart goes out to his family and all that. And
right back there, man.
He'll be very missed.
It's the only show on CNN I would watch. It's Parts Unknown. It's the only show.
I didn't even know. I didn't know it was CNN. I'm pretty sure it's on I almost said fucking YouTube. Netflix. Pretty sure it's on Netflix too. But
yeah. So what's up with the fourth dimension?
We'll
Jesse?
be right back.
I'm gonna cut that out. But what's up with the fourth dimension? I know you didn't want to talk about it tonight, but we're gonna fucking talk about it.
Nobody knows, man.
It's all speculation.
Hella speculation. What got my
what does Carl Sagan say about it?
That's what I was gonna say, man. Come on. No, Carl Sagan got my dick hard about the fourth dimension and the way that he described it. So, in a very paraphrased way, Carl Sagan explained if we were to just live in two dimensions and try to explain to creatures living in the two dimension something, they would only be able to see layers of it because of the dimension that they lived in. Now, if you were to take a three-dimensional object and try to give them an idea without showing it in layers, you could do something like cast a shadow on a cube into two dimensions. You can see that science experiment done fairly well, where you literally just take a cube that's three dimensions and shine some light behind it, and then you'll end up seeing it like how somebody were to draw a cube just on like a piece of paper.
So is that a way to see the fourth dimension? Or
that's so
an example,
but seeing it like that, a two-dimensional, because it's only the layer that they could see it at within the best description of it, they wouldn't be able to fully understand it. So the Tesseract is a cube that exists within the fourth dimension, and the only way, like,
it
how
exists.
It's not like it's more of a thought process of, so if we're trying to see or trying to show you what it would be like to try to show a two-dimensional creature what a three-dimensional object looks like, we can do that with the fourth dimension, and you end up coming up with the Tesseract. So the Tesseract is almost like a shadow of an object that we can't comprehend because we can only see it within the layers that we see, but we can kind of see the shadow that's projected from it because we can't even begin to comprehend this other direction, this other form of space.
So the fourth dimension.
Have you ever seen a picture of a Tesseract of what it looks like?
No, I've heard about it, but no, I haven't seen a picture.
So yeah, it's more like a concept than something actually existing within a fourth dimension. But it's trying to get us to kind of have this vision of what the fourth dimension could possibly be. Like, we could never actually see.
Can we make things clear real quick? We see in 3 dimension, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All human beings see in the third dimension.
Yes. It's see in 3 dimensions. We see in 3 dimensions.
Right. And the world we perceive is 3 dimension.
Yes.
Okay. So if something were to be in the fourth dimension, we can't see it, but it's physical. It's there.
Yes, we would not be able to even interact with it.
Right.
But
it casts a shadow though. So.
But is casting a shadow interacting with it?
Okay.
So you would only be able to see the layers in which it could interact, because a fourth dimensional, like let's say you have a fourth dimensional fucking object, you could only perceive fucking the 3 dimensions of it because we only live in the fucking 3 dimensions. The fourth dimension of it we would not be able to see. We would not be able to fucking see it within that. I don't even want to use the word construct. I don't even know.
Our eyes will never be able to see fourth dimension.
Impossible.
Why
Absolutely
is that?
impossible.
Why is that? Mine's if we
we're prisoners of 3 dimensions.
could they make a contact that you put in your eyes and you could see the fourth dimension?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Not a chance.
We physically could not ever be in a fourth dimension.
So do you think that the fourth dimension could be a spiritual realm?
It's all speculation.
Okay.
This is what kind of like
the first
boggles
time
my mind a
the
little
first
bit.
time that it was ever brought up the first time that the fourth dimension was brought up was in the 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But if there's a fourth dimension, if it does exist,
There's a fifth dimension and a sixth dimension
and a seventh dimension and an eighth dimension, like where does it end?
Yeah.
Where do the dimensions end before
Well,
they do
we're
they
a
start?
we're a type 1 civilization right now. So I feel like if we were a type 2 civilization or maybe even a type 3 at that point we would be able to tap into the fourth dimension.
Type 3 is the peak, right? If I remember correctly, this is a completely self-sustainable
It's man-made.
society.
Who knows what it really is.
The guy that came up with that like fucking a long fucking time ago. He's a visionary. I do not remember that guy's name when talking about the
we are
class of.
far away from even.
Super far away.
To my knowledge, I don't even think we're a type 1 civilization yet. I don't even think we made it there yet.
I would have to look at the definition, but if you think about it, living in a capitalist society and the society that we live in is very much against even moving forward into like a type 2 or a third industrial revolution or type 2 civilization.
Well, I think we have to-
especially type 3. You eliminate people from their power. At some point, people would have to give up like wealth, and it would have to transition into something else to where now they'd be more, the playing field is now leveled out. That's the one thing you notice whenever you like with like a type 2 and type 3, if I remember correctly, is that it's no longer so much this hierarchy of power that happens. It's these individuals are so enlightened and so self-sustaining that nobody's really in control. Everybody has just come to the same general.
Because without money,
general aspect.
you don't need money. If everyone who had money, the top 1% or whatever, they put all their money together and they're like, hey, let's advance as a civilization. We could most likely, we could most likely do it, but they don't want to.
No, fuck no, they don't want to.
Which makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense to them because it makes them feel special.
Like gods.
Would you want to give up? But whether or not they feel like they're gods or whatever, it's literally what makes them feel special. Like the same reason why we go out and we buy clothes and dress a certain way and like to
the way we feel when we
like
do
to
that.
think
That's what they feel.
Everything we do, like it's literally a part of the human experience. We have certain needs we have to fulfill, and feeling special is one of them. We like to feel included with other people too, but at the same time, we need to feel like individuals. And their feeling of individualism and them being special is their bank accounts and their power and influence that they have.
That's so
on the world,
crazy, man.
And their suppression, and also their suppression of technology.
Oh, yeah.
And information too at the same time.
It's like where's the breaking point? Is it another world war, or is it, when is it going to come down to a point where these motherfuckers wake up and smell the fucking coffee? Folgers, man.
That's a good question, because I think a lot of those people know a lot more than what we know about even historical things, and like they really fucking know what's going on as far as even a possible interaction with extraterrestrials and stuff like that. Not to get into that fucking too heavy, but I think that they already know a lot more than us, and they're using it to their benefit. I'm trying to remember your original question now. What was that again?
We were just a little bit into the fourth dimension, but we just kind of veered off a little bit.
Yeah, no, I know, but as far as like what's
when are we
going to
wake up? When are we going to wake up and smell the
take?
coffee? Yeah.
Oh man, I don't think so. Man, I actually think we've touched on this before, because I think you would almost have to transcend into another species. I think human beings are very limited and very caged to this hierarchy thing that's always created whenever you have governments overthrown, and then whatever replaces it is. And I know I've already talked about this.
How do we transcend into a different species?
Exactly. It would have to be something through genetic evolution or us interacting with another species.
You're talking
something
hundreds
extreme.
of thousands of years.
Hundreds of thousands of
but
years.
This world won't even survive that.
I think us as being human beings, we're almost kind of imprisoned within a mentality and how things get established within a society. I think we're extremely limited. I don't think we're nearly as fucking badass as people bring us up to be as these great fucking
Tell me this though.
species.
Tell me this though.
You know?
I mean, let's say you're Bill Gates rich, or
Mm-hmm.
I am, or someone like us, if we're that rich, like, we're gonna try and do something like that. At that point, you have the money and the power to do it. You know,
What's the first thing you do? Let's say you have $1 billion. You can research anything. You can
$1 billion doesn't do shit. I'm saying Bill
Okay.
Gates rich.
Okay, so hundreds of billions of dollars rich.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you try to figure out? What's the first thing that you?
Well, you can say
do.
Bill Gates suck my dick and fuck vaccines and fuck putting water in third world countries. Like, let's advance this civilization. Like, the Earth's not going to be here forever. We can't be here forever. Volcanoes are going to go.
Now, how
The climate change, like they say, whatever. Pick your poison, man. Like, we have to find our way out of here.
that's still a flawed individual. That's so like let's say Bill Gates or somebody even richer than Bill Gates. Let's take somebody who has unlimited money, literally unlimited resources. How do you go about changing all of society when so many people are set in their own mental, like they're not going to
You
fucking
do it
change
anyways.
their ways?
You do it anyways. I mean, look at Elon Musk. What he did with SpaceX or whatever. You
Dude,
know,
then you have riots.
Dude.
If you start taking like church away from people, like some people are so embedded in church.
You don't
like,
have to.
Let's say you
don't
had some
have to.
evidence.
You don't have to.
Let's say you had some fucking evidence that completely just destroyed all of religion. It was blatant right in front of everybody's fucking face.
They would
that,
still believe in religion,
Right?
It's that embedded into our
because
country.
that's what fucking human beings do. Like that's what I'm saying. Like we're limited. We are limited
those
fucking
people,
creatures. Like even
those people will be left behind. The No Child Left Behind Act will not include those people. Okay, Elon Musk, he's doing his thing. He launched some rockets into space, and then he landed 2 rockets back in simultaneously at the same time into the same spot that they were launched at.
old Muskie.
That dude is fucking gangster as a motherfucker.
Yeah, he is.
That is just a
Old
small
Muskie's the
example.
man.
Like
You see his hot ass girlfriend too?
I haven't seen that.
Dude, it's weird. It doesn't look like they should be dating. It looks like she's into some kinky shit. I think Elon likes his butthole getting licked.
Oh, I'm sure
I look
he
at that
does.
girl and I'm like, dude, you're picking out a girl that
He's
has
Tony
no
Stark.
issue. Yeah. He's just trying to get a rim job.
Have you seen
long term?
Have you seen
like
Mark-
love and commitment rim jobs?
Have you looked at Mark Zuckerberg and just said, "What the fuck"? Like, he looks like a legit alien.
No, people are misconstruing.
Dude, I'm not. I didn't even know that people are misconstruing
Mark-
this and saying he is an alien. I'm just saying. I looked at a picture of him today. He looks like a fucking alien, like a fish, like a half fish, half fucking Ninja Turtle. I don't know, man. He looks like a fucking alien.
People weren't saying that fucking 10 fucking years ago. Whenever Facebook was on the
Look
up
at
and
him
up,
now.
man.
Look at him now.
Has he really changed that physically?
Look at his fucking face. Let me show you.
If you could show me some transition that fucking Zuckerberg is fucking making on a physical level. Like,
Yeah, he looks like a fucking alien for sure.
he looks like a tired fucking CEO of fucking being in front of the fucking Senate. Is what he fucking looks like.
There's something flashing on our window, dude. Is that a lightning bug?
Yeah, that's a lightning
Okay.
bug.
All right.
It's the government.
Yeah.
It's government lightning
Yeah,
bug.
they probably have fucking cameras in the lightning bug. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at this motherfucker. I'm telling you, dude, he's an alien.
You know, there are people that fucking have, the whole lizard people conspiracy. Have
Yeah.
you ever heard of that one?
Yeah.
That is fucking the stupidest shit.
How? Explain to me how. And I'm not
The
saying
lizard people?
I'm not
The
saying-
lizard people?
I'm not
The
saying
lizard king fucking people and
okay,
shit?
I'm not saying I agree with it, but how is it bullshit?
How is it bullshit?
Yeah, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
How is it so basically,
They're shapeshifters, bro.
so you have some shape-shifting lizards that. Hold on, let me see that. What'd you pull up? Was
Yeah,
it
12 million people think
12
that
million
lizard people are running our country. Yeah.
12 million people?
Shapeshifters.
Fuck, man. That scares me.
Why?
I mean, if you had...
You're trying to tell me with evolution and how it works on the Earth, which no one really knows how it works. It's just all speculation because it's all still theory. So you're trying to tell me that there's not a 1% chance that some way, somehow, because we all share the same DNA, but it's not all the same with humans. 85% share the common DNA of being a human, and then there's 15% that share a different...
Jaden Smith said that we share 50% of the same DNA as a banana.
That's
Jaden
true.
Smith said that
That's
shit.
true. It's true, though.
He comes from a good genealogy.
I mean,
so I trust him.
Yeah.
He looked good with the
I mean, we're
dreadlocks
close.
too. I
We're
don't know
close
what the fuck
to.
happened to
We're
those.
close to mice, man, with the same DNA. It's just and monkeys and
No, but to think that you would have a race of super intelligent, shape-shifting reptilian people that have completely stayed underground and infiltrated.
They don't have to be underground. They could be shapeshifted. They can look like you. They could look like me if they wanted to.
I meant like underground, just as like a societal thing.
Oh,
like not like.
Or they're the Anunnaki and they were left here, and then they are the people that run this earth.
Oh man, it's so unplausible to me. The whole.
What's the oldest living creature in the United States? The oldest living creature.
It's got to be like some form of bacteria, like some fucking strand of fucking bacteria or
I'm
some
not
shit.
talking.
Like
I'm not talking bacteria like a living animal.
Like you're talking about something at the fucking zoo. Probably an alligator.
On Earth.
Alligators, crocodiles, they've been around for a long fucking time.
Turtles live.
I bet you I'm right. I bet you it's something that reptilian.
It's like a turtle.
So I see where you're getting at right now.
Yeah.
I see where you're getting at.
Yeah. Turtles live for a really long time.
Shape-shifting reptilian people.
I mean, dude, you have fucking there's some sort of fish that can.
Could they be in cold climates? Could the reptilian people, the shape-shifting reptilian people, live in Colorado?
If our Earth has been here for 4 billion years,
if not,
like
they need to. Pot's legal.
I wouldn't put anything past them.
If they're fucking eating people and running the world, I hope they're smoking pot.
What is?
This tortoise.
Tortoise, 255.
March 2006.
It's a tortoise, bro.
But what if they were somehow developing like side by side like on Earth kind of fucking thing?
How long?
226 years.
There's a fish that lived, a koi that lived 226 years.
Dude, I don't even want to fucking hear that shit. There's some jellyfish that have like never died, and they literally live fucking like eternally. You want to talk about the most advanced fucking animal on the entire planet? You want to know what this is? Fucking octopuses, bro. Octopuses. Their CNS, their central nervous system is so much farther advanced than any other fucking creature. The fact that they can read their fucking environment, react immediately to it, and then shift to where it literally they look exactly fucking like that shit.
Oh, camouflage, yeah.
Yeah, they can reproduce a limb. Like, they cut off a limb, they'll fucking regrow a limb in like 5 fucking hours with like the limb works perfectly fine like the previous fucking limb. They can fucking fit through anything that their fucking little beak fucking thing.
Souls.
I read a whole thing on them fucking octopuses,
souls.
dude. I was like, octopuses are
dude,
bad
the
fucking
thing
ass,
the thing is, the deeper you go, like the deeper that they've tried to, the depths of the ocean, you find them. You find these motherfuckers just down there.
This is what I'm gonna say. Before there's fucking reptilian fucking people that are infiltrating our government, there's octopus people infiltrating and shapeshifting. That makes way more sense to me.
No, it doesn't.
I'm about to get on board and start doing some research on how the octupus people are taking over the fucking government.
You're a firm believer. You're a firm believer in fucking evolution. Okay?
I am.
So the octopus hasn't made its way out of the ocean yet, as did the reptilian or the reptile.
Mm-hmm.
AKA fucking turtle, lives 255 years old.
Yeah.
If that happened millions of years ago, evolution carries on, and there you go. And like I said, I think it's more plausible that a reptilian style shapeshifter, and like I said, I don't believe in this. I'm just fucking.
You said you're playing devil's advocate right from the beginning.
I think that there's a good chance that they're the Anunnaki. I mean, you can look at the Sumerian texts and look at these motherfuckers. They look weird as fuck.
How the fuck are you trying to tie them to the fucking Anunnaki?
Because the Anunnaki, brother, you look at Sumerian texts, and there's a picture of a being that, they got a weird face and shit, and they have a smaller being sitting in its lap.
Oh, but as far as them being reptilian, though?
It's a possibility.
Possibility they're reptilian?
Yeah. I mean,
I think if there was, then I think if anything that fucking happened, if our DNA was fucking influenced by something, they're gonna look probably more like us and not necessarily reptilian. Think about some negatives to being a reptile. Think about it. You have to be in one form, in one climate. Like, it's very difficult being a cold-blooded creature, like I said, in fucking Colorado.
But they adapt, man.
But they're better adapted fucking creatures than that. If you want to talk about like some super advanced being, I don't think it would be a fucking reptile.
I'm just saying, if you're a super advanced being and you're a reptile and you're able to shapeshift, you're probably warm-blooded by that point.
Oh, fuck you, shapeshift, man.
Why the fuck not? What the fuck's up with the fourth dimension? If the
You're
fourth
right.
dimension is real, you can shapeshift. I'm sorry.
There
is an alien out there that can shapeshift.
I enjoy a good conspiracy theory, but the fucking reptile overlords, man.
I agree 100%.
That's way the fuck
I
out
agree,
there.
man.
I'll talk about moon landing all fucking day with you. I'll talk about JFK fucking assassination
Cortland, you believe
with
they
you.
landed on the moon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
NASA just released some high-def photos of the moon.
High-def photos. They finally got them. 60 years later, 70 years. How many? That was in which
40,
landing?
40, no, almost 50.
Which landing?
The first landing was 69.
Okay. So 50, 60
Wait,
years.
there's more than one?
Yeah.
There were 7 landings, right? It was 6 or 7.
Well, no, 'cause
What the
Apollo-
fuck? Like people walking on the moon?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
There was like 8 or something like that.
Yeah, it was 6 or 7, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
of people walking on the moon?
Landings on the moon, yes. But they don't have the telemetry data. They lost it.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I thought there was only the one
No, there was multiple, man.
of people
Yes.
of people physically
Yes.
being at the moon.
Yes.
I know, like you know that
That's
fucking
why-
badass movie with fucking Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Oh my god, was that Apollo 13? Oh, I cried so hard in that movie.
Dude, that's why it's
That was a-
Seven was the first.
Okay, so here's my literally Cortland, I would love to show you.
Man, I
this.
wish Cortland had a mic right now.
I told him if he had a mic cable. But there's a video of this NASA guy who is currently working for NASA right now. I forget his name. But he's just like, yeah, he's like, the technology that existed to go to the moon doesn't exist anymore. He's like,
what the fuck are you saying?
He said we destroyed it. Straight from NASA. Straight from NASA. I'm not even kidding you.
The technology to get to the moon?
Yeah, he said it's gone. It's destroyed.
That makes no fucking sense.
He said it doesn't exist anymore. Bro, I'm not fucking with you. This is 100% real.
That is not a thing, because
It is a
that's
thing.
that's the whole thing about the conspiracy theory, is why the fuck haven't we gone back?
Right.
Like if we did it in the 70s or was it 60s?
That's 6.
Early 70s.
Yeah.
60s, early 70s.
And that's why it didn't happen.
Why the fuck are we doing it? Like
Because if we don't
50 years later.
if we don't have the technology now, then it never existed. I'm sorry.
How the fuck do you not have the fucking technology?
Yeah,
It
you
is
don't.
true. I do wonder why we haven't done it again.
Yeah, you don't lose technology like that. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. It's complete bullshit.
Expensive, and
It's
they discovered what they needed to know. I don't know.
Then why the fuck? Why don't they just say, hey, we've already been there. It's expensive fucking going there. We're not gonna do it again because we've already been there. We fucking know what we're gonna
Even
get.
if you've already been there, why would you not go there and get materials?
Why
there?
hasn't another country fucking done
Yeah,
it?
right. That's actually.
Well,
That's
China,
another fucking thing.
China, they launched a rover there, and that was like 4 or 5 years ago, and they don't show any pictures at all. You can't get on the internet. You can't find. You can find 1 or 2 pictures. It was the original pictures that when it first landed, you can find those pictures. China doesn't show any other pictures on the internet. You can't find them.
There is something. If that's truly the case, to where they had like a head official of fucking NASA,
It wasn't head
Say-
official. It was an employee. Cortland just verified it.
an employee, verified employee, said
Yeah.
some shit that technology was fucking lost. That is an outright fucking lie.
I agree.
That is a fucking outright
Do
fucking
you know how
lie.
much money NASA
Wh-
gets per day? I mean,
I know Obama fucking cut their funding. I thought.
They still get like it's like six
I'm
million.
sure it's
like
fucking
it's like $6 million
ridiculous.
a day or something like that. It's insane.
Because
And
initially
they're not even going to space.
I think the whole point for NASA originally was it wasn't so much getting to the moon, it was the process of getting to the moon and the things and technology that came about, that thought process that our greatest engineers had to come up with was able to all of a sudden bleed down into everyday society. Like all the little things they had to come up with for problem solving that now they could use in the kitchen or some shit. I wish I could think of an example like
Well,
Velcro.
I'm sure.
Like I'm pretty sure Velcro was initially made for space.
Yeah.
So just all kinds of little stuff like that. Like that's the whole point of like traveling to these distant places isn't so much getting there, but
What you
the
find out in the
engineering and the
process.
technology that you fucking create to get there that's able to now reverberate back into society. I got this limp dick fucking mic
Yeah.
going all over the fucking place.
And you're completely right, because we gain a lot of things from when we try to go to the moon, or when we did go to the moon. There was a lot of inventions that were created. You know?
Oh, huge, dude.
But the one thing that really gets me, and this is any YouTube channel you can go to, is the Van Allen radiation belt. It's a belt that covers the Earth, and when they first went in the early 60s or late 60s, early 70s, the Van Allen radiation belt no one knew what it was. And then you have NASA coming out on the History Channel saying that, oh, here's the Van Allen radiation belt. No one can travel through here because it's intense amounts of radiation, you know? Well, how did we do it in the 60s and
Yep.
70s?
That's the other thing,
You know what I'm
coming back
saying?
to why Stanley Kubrick fucking...
It's bullshit, man.
You know, I actually, this is not too long ago, I was on fucking Amager. Shout out to fucking Amager. It's like the one thing that I'll say in this fucking podcast. Everybody needs to download fucking Amager.
And Talk Junkies, subscribe.
And obviously to us. But I watched this meme that said the government hired Stanley Kubrick to fake the moon landings, but he's such a perfectionist.
That
He
it looks so
required
real.
them. No, he required them to fly to the moon to film on location.
Dude, there was literally a scene you can find where the camera was outside while they were talking. Like you could tell it was on set. I'm not even kidding you. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, maybe that's not true. Maybe that's just some bullshit on YouTube or whatever. But there's just a lot of shit, man.
How do we even know? Maybe they could have gotten through the radiation belt, and they just lucked out that they didn't have any fucking long-term effects from it.
Well, Neil Armstrong, he lived a great life. He's still alive, right?
I think he just died.
Dude, imagine what that guy really fucking knows.
Was that Neil
Buzz Aldrin's still alive. He's a drunken alcoholic, man. Yeah. Buzz Aldrin, yeah.
Really?
He gets drunk and fucking talks some shit.
Does he ever say outlandish things that you're like, whoa?
He's
dude, what the
he's talked
fuck
about
are you talking-
UFOs. He's talked about UFOs.
People in Air Force, low level Air Force people have fucking seen UFOs
Oh,
and
yeah.
fucking shit, man.
Yeah.
He was talking
Dude.
about that they released fighter jets seeing
Yeah, it was in
what
Mexico.
is that?
There are so many accounts, and this is what I'm saying. Whether or not it's we have unreleased technology to where we've worked on UFOs for the past fucking 30 to fucking 40 years and developing a super advanced fucking airship of some kind, and it's us testing it, or it's another fucking species. There is some fucking shit going on. It's either
Well,
one
I
or the
guess-
other. It's either one or the other.
The Roswell crash? I guess there was Roman scripture on the Roswell crash.
Yep, I heard about that too on an I-beam.
Yeah.
Fuck, I really hope that's not Tom DeLonge that I'm quoting right now.
Oh yeah, we
'Cause
both watched the same podcast.
I fucking hope it's not Tom DeLonge I'm quoting right now as far as the shit that was on the I-beam. No, because it supposedly matched up with Atlantis. So they were able to say that these actually weren't extraterrestrials, that they were actually based here on Earth and possibly creatures that have lived underwater and fucking...
Well, and I'll go out here and say this. I think there's more land on this earth than what is told. I truly do think that. I truly do. And you can't sit there and give me that face because you've traveled where, Jesse?
I just never said I thought that was the thing. We weren't going to get into that. But that...
No. That has nothing to do with what
that's
that
fine.
is. I truly think that even if the earth is a sphere and everything like that, I think that the earth could be bigger than what we think. You know what I'm saying? Even if you get a satellite image of Earth, it still could, I just think there's unexplored land. And not Antarctica, not the North Pole or anything like that.
You think there's a misconstrued image of planet Earth of something being kept away or just naturally being missed?
I can show you pictures from NASA the past 30 years, and the continents look bigger and smaller in each picture. So yes, they're misconstrued 100%.
Well, I mean,
They're official photos from NASA. They're official photos from NASA.
You have receding water. There's all kinds of
No.
things that can happen.
No,
different variables.
no,
There's a
continent-
whole bunch of variables. With
There's
that.
no variables. It's a picture of the Earth, and the continent looks 2 to 3 times or 1 times bigger. Okay, it's not. I mean, dude, these photos are fucking taking. They're literally getting how much money a day or per year is NASA getting, and these are the images we get. That's bullshit.
Get rid of that fucking goddamn Mark Zuckerberg creepy ass fucking Google image. Mark Zuckerberg fucking Lizard King.
Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
So this is an image from NASA.
That looks and it looks about right.
Okay. So then you got this one. The water's different.
What's that big fucking?
That's the moon right there.
That's not a fucking.
Then you got that one.
That's not a legitimate. That's not with the moon. That's a CGI'd fucking moon.
I mean, they're composites. They have to be. That's what NASA said.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because it's so big that they don't have a lens that can.
There's no telescope with a camera that's outside of.
That's the thing. Why would you not have a telescope on the fucking moon if you landed on the moon, right?
Or even a base or something.
Yeah, a base at
It
least.
probably
Come
is
on.
a fucking base, man. Because think about it, you're only able to see one side of the moon. I don't care what. This is very observable. We can only see fucking one side of the goddamn moon all the time, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck's on the other side of that bitch?
No, the dark side of the moon, man. That's a very big conspiracy theory on
They got
YouTube.
fucking interstellar fucking titty bars and shit. That's what I fucking crazy shit's going on up there.
So here we go. These are all legitimate photos of the Earth from NASA, right? So here you go. So look at that one. These are all from NASA. And just look at the color distribution. If I were able to click on it, you could tell how, like, look at this one, man. I'll try and show you.
So between the variable of depending on where we at in orbit, depending on how close we are to the sun, that's going to change the light, depending on the quality of the camera, of different cameras that are out there, depending on the weather patterns that are on the face of the planet at the time. There's, there's probably about 500 other variables that are going to change that picture. We have somebody that does photography, and he could probably
that's
give a little
fine.
bit of insight. And I wish he had a fucking mic right now. Give a little bit of insight on all the different variables that could possibly change the image of a picture.
No, I disagree though. Look at the color though here, man. I'm serious.
Pull that one up. Zoom right in.
Look at
Zoom right in.
look how big the continents are compared to like at that point. Well, the continents don't.
Click on that one.
The continents don't change in size, man. They should be similar in all images, whether how far away they are or how far they aren't. The continents don't grow in size and how much space they take up on the Earth.
There you go. Cortland fucking.
Yeah, he knows how to work it.
Goddamn fucking Mozart.
So look at this one.
iMac.
Look at that, and then look at that one. It takes up like way more space. These are.
But if what you're saying is
These
composites,
are all NASA images.
if you're gonna say that it's made up of composites, is that a thing that fucking NASA talks about, that every picture of fucking Earth like this, like, oh shit.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
If all pictures like this are composites because there's not a satellite far enough away to take a picture like that, and they have to fucking patch it together, but
Then it's gonna be distorted.
yeah, then it's gonna be a little fucking weird. Maybe they don't have a fucking satellite far enough to actually take a full fucking image of like a full, not hemisphere. I guess you could call it a fucking hemisphere, like exactly half of the fucking planet. Like, because every time I see like satellite pictures, it's more like you just see.
There you go. That one
you
right
see
there.
like a
That's
fourth.
perfect, dude. There
You
go.
see like a fourth. You don't see a fucking full Earth from a satellite, like a video.
Yeah.
Like what's that Chinese one? The fucking Chinese shit that does the 24-hour fucking video of Earth. The Chinese fucking have one.
Oh, from ISS?
Yeah, whatever the fuck it's called. But it's still not far enough away to where you can see the fucking full planet. You can only see a portion of it. So if they have to fucking do composites and shit like that.
But they have satellites that are far enough away. Like the Voyager has taken many pictures. Or did it turn around and take pictures of the Earth?
See, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
so
what I'm saying.
an orbiting satellite can't take a fucking full picture of the Earth because it's too close to the Earth. You have to have a satellite that's literally like leaving.
Jesse, you're trying to tell me that we have satellites up there taking pictures of every single planet in our fucking solar system, but not Earth.
It's easier to fucking take a picture
Bullshit.
of something that's fucking
Bullshit.
farther away than to have something.
That depends.
No. The first thing that we would do
All
is
that
take
makes sense to me.
The first thing we would do is take an actual picture of what our fucking Earth looks like. That would be the first thing. You do not go to Saturn. Take a picture of that. Take a picture of everything else. No way.
Hey, we're kind of freeballing this fucking podcast, and I gotta piss real bad. Cortland, come over here and grab the mic, and then in the headphones for a minute. I'm gonna urinate.
Cut. And you're a big NASA believer, man. So that's just, you got to talk in the mic. You got to get close to it, baby.
Yeah. Okay. I can hear myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I am. Since a child.
Yeah. So I mean, don't you think that the first thing that we do that we would do if we could send a satellite into space far enough, like we did when we went to the moon, is take a picture of the Earth?
Yeah.
That's the single greatest picture ever.
I mean, yeah, it's us. It's who we are.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's complicated, but I think those photos are real. I mean, biggest thing is we want to know who we are, and it seems like there's lots of photos taken of Earth. Even Carl Sagan. I mean, that famous photo, the pale blue dot. I don't know if you know that one. It was taken by Voyager. It's the furthest man-made photo of Earth. I mean, it's literally Earth is a speck in that.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. But I just, like I said, for NASA to come out and say that they're composites, they have to be. Which, I mean, I guess they do have to be, because you're getting information back from space in real time into Earth. That's why it would be that way. But still, the photos we got when we were on the moon, taken of the Earth, is that technically a composite?
That wouldn't be. You see, those photos would be a full image.
Right.
And I actually don't know about satellites
Well, they relay information back to Earth, so they would have to be composites.
I would think. See, I don't know actually that there's satellites with cameras on it that can take a picture of the full Earth. If we have satellites, because I know we have.
There's like 20,000 different satellites or something crazy like that.
They're not cameras, you know. Most of those are
right.
for information. Like,
but out of one of those satellites, one's not going to be pushed back to where it's revolving around the moon and taking pictures of the Earth. Why would we not do that?
That is. Yeah, there is. There's a certain limit. There's a couple places that satellites can safely orbit around, like a stable orbit. Most satellites are at a specific range, which is definitely not far enough away to take a photo of Earth.
But how does the Voyager relay information? How far is it now? Is it out of our solar system now?
It just left the like the helopause or something. It's where the sun's radiation.
It went through 2 asteroid belts, correct?
Yes. It's kind of currently.
How did it go through 2 asteroid belts without getting crashed?
See, I've looked that up because I was interested in that myself, and it's kind of one of those things about like size perspective. Like when you think of the asteroid belt, yeah, there's a shit ton of rocks and debris out there, but when you think about the vastness of space, I guess even still with that, they said I don't know the exact figure. The percentage is pretty low.
Maybe what they show us isn't truly what it looks like.
No.
I mean, obviously that's the case.
Yeah, like the classic drawings of an asteroid belt where every 30 feet there's a rock.
Right.
That's not actually what it's like.
But still, we can't control it when it's that far out.
No, we can't. And there's a chance that
there's a very high chance.
That any probe we send out can get hit by something or some debris.
Yeah. But it's still sending back information.
It is.
And when was that released?
1977.
That's insane.
Yeah, and they say that they actually fired the thrusters for the first time since like 1989 or the early 90s when they took those photos, the one I talked about, the pale blue dot. They finally set the thrusters and oriented the ship so that the antenna was pointed more directly at us, which gave it like another, like I said, 2 to 5 years. They say that we'll probably lose contact with it around 2025, 2030, maybe at the latest.
Okay. So it's still getting energy from the sun, right?
No, it's
rocket propelled?
No, it's like it's like nuclear power. It's it's like an isotope, some element when it like decays, it creates energy which powers it.
So this year they hit some more juice on it?
They oriented it so that the juice is still constant, but they oriented the ship so that the antennas pointed more. They turned it.
How? How long did it take?
There's thrusters on it.
How long did it take to relay that information to the Voyager?
It takes. I want to say it takes 12 hours there and
Bullshit.
12 hours back.
In 12 hours, it's past Pluto, right?
Yes. Yes.
And in 12 hours, we sent information that fast.
No, it took 12 hours. Like we sent the button, move the thrusters to this position. 12 hours later, the rocket did it, and then it took another 12 hours to come back.
In the 70s, we had technology to do that?
Well, it didn't take that long then. Okay, so right now, the moon is 8 light seconds away. If the moon blew up,
200,000 miles away.
Yeah, if the moon blew up right now, it would take 8 seconds before we saw it. So when the Voyager probe was as far away as the moon is, it took 8 seconds for a command to go through. The further it got away, the longer the command takes.
Okay, but there's still signal to make that command happen.
Yes, but the further it gets away, the longer it takes for us.
And how did we have the technology in the 70s to send commands that are 12 light years away, or 12? Whatever you say.
No, it is mind-boggling. And the rate that we get data from Voyager, even New Horizons, the ones that just passed Pluto, the rate of information, it's like 1/1000th, or it's something really small of a bit we get every like minute. It's extremely slow, the data we get.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It does blow my mind that, because like there's more memory in your cell phone than what powered us to get to the moon.
There's more memory on your cell phone than what's on the Voyager.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And they had a camera
weird to
and
think
everything,
about.
and it had all these instruments. It is crazy that if it exists. And I'm really fascinated with the Voyager probe.
So and I think the pictures, if the Voyager does take pictures, I think that they definitely enhance the pictures, because the Voyager it has to be a a 2 or 3 megapixel camera.
Oh yeah, really low.
Yeah.
I mean,
So at that point, they're guessing what it looks like.
no, I mean,
What do you mean no? Cortland, take a picture with a 2 megapixel camera
Yeah.
and tell me you're not guessing what you're looking at.
true. I mean, we could pull up Voyager photos. I mean, they're not extremely high def. I mean, the reason they look good is because the planets that they took pictures of are so big that they didn't have to be,
But it's
get
far away.
detail.
It's far away enough to take the picture.
Yeah, and where you can see, you can make the details on the planets are so vast and huge that it looks clear. Like
we don't need detail. We just need to see the
Yeah,
the
and
planet.
that was the point of the Voyagers, just to see what it looks like.
Right.
Though I mean, Voyager, they were able to tell some details. Like it was the first probe to see active volcanoes on other planets. I mean, it was actually the moon
with a 2 or 3 megapixel camera.
Yes.
Bullshit. No way.
I mean, it's.
Well, and I guess it had more. It was probably like a bigger megapixel, like
Yeah.
a big ass camera.
I have wondered about that because, back in the 60s and stuff, there weren't digital cameras. But technically, I guess the camera on Voyager is a digital camera because it obviously wasn't film.
So it's a Mandela effect. I'm just kidding. That's kind of trippy though.
The Mandela effect is trippy. That's stuff
But I
you
mean, like
see.
what Jesse said though. I mean, technology, they suppress it, so they have more technology than what we know about.
Possibly so.
So they could have
And then
put that.
release it as
Yeah.
as needed, make money. I don't know.
I think it's just crazy that if the Voyager's out of our solar system or close to being out of our solar system, we can still relay information to that, and we can still receive that information, but yet we only have 4G, and sometimes I don't have signal in my own house.
No, yeah, it's
just crazy.
It is ridiculous. The stuff that we have done, and why don't we have this now? I don't know. They're hiding stuff, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, cool, man. We're at the top of the hour. That was Cortland, man, our brother from another mother we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Joining Talk Junkies, man. We're going to have this full on again. He's an artist, an amazing artist, man. And so anyone who's listening, check out Cortland Sampe on Instagram, Facebook. He's got a lot of good art, but we're going to do a podcast with him when we have more subscribers because I want a lot of people to check his shit out. So thanks for coming over, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad you had me here.
Yeah. And Jesse, I'm not going to lie, this is kind of exciting to have another person he can give us some more broader he can just give us more information on art, which is
a different perspective.
yeah, different perspective. But I can't wait to interview you about art. And I'm going to add a third mic. I'm going to add a third chair. I'm going to order it on Amazon here shortly, because we need some guests on here, man. Yeah, it's very crucial. Yeah, yeah. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. So yeah. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button down, hit the little bell if you want notifications when we upload videos once every Sunday, right around, well, I guess it turns into Monday because I usually upload right around 1 or 2 in the morning. But man, check us out, listen to us, let us know what you think. Put comments down below. Check out our boy Cortland on Cortland Sampe on Instagram because he's got some good art. Hit him up if you want some art. He charges a little bit of money, but not too much. But he makes some fucking badass art, and when we do a podcast with him, we're gonna show all his artwork on our YouTube channel. So thanks for listening, Jesse. You got anything?
Yeah, just real quick.
Jesse's got a little bit to say.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I know that's a bad transition. I just wanted to talk a little bit about what we first were getting into as far as like the Anthony Bourdain thing right at the beginning of the podcast, and if you have any inclination of somebody who is about to do self-harm or anything like that, be loving and try to give them as much help as humanly possible. And if you yourself are in that kind of mood, the grass is always greener on the other side. Everybody goes through trouble and stuff like that. I'm not going to get back into it or anything like that. I just want to make sure that I give a positive message as far as that whole suicide thing out there. Get help if you need it. Reach out to close friends. They're, I'm sure, gonna have open, loving arms for that whole thing. That's basically. I just wanted to bring that up again.
Hey, man,
quick.
and reach out to us too, man. We're definitely here. We're here for any of your followers who want to listen to us and give the time of day to hear us out, and we're here for anyone and everyone, man.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And anything you want to talk about, even if it's not something you want to hear us talk on the podcast. If you just want to bullshit with us, me and Paul love talking Talk junkies.
That's right.
We will talk, man. We will talk. That's what life's about, man. Is developing through talking to other people and expressing yourself and things like that. So
we'll see you guys next week, Sunday into Monday. Thanks for listening, and have a good night.
much love.